That's not an answer.
But isn't it? I have no idea because I just unmuted my mic.
Well, we're just talking about how I'm making an order for takeout food.
Apparently, he never orders from the same place more than once. That's insane!
Like, do you tip them so badly that it's dangerous for you to order twice? Oh, right,
No.
Europe. Right, Europe.
We don't tip people because our pay is already so good we don't need to.
Well, then I'm just confused. And mystified.
Well, it's because there's like, I don't know, 100 pizza places on the list, and I kind of like tasting new places.
But there's a risk that it will be horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Haven't you found one, at least one, that's like super delicious and you want that pizza always? Or like at least sometimes? Or do you just forget?
The last one.
That makes sense.
See, there are these arcane implements called pen and paper.
I have a right.
No, you haven't.
Shit. They know.
Yep. I mean, I don't know about the others, but I know.
Okay, so I think that's as many as we're going to get today.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we might as well go for it.
I need my notebook. Which?
Why are we missing that?
notebooks? What notebooks is today? I think it's that.
The one with ice and a really, really big dude.
Okay.
Yeah, why are we missing Grab?
Because he has been sleeping good and he's sleeping, hopefully.
Alright, when sleeping is good. If you don't do that, you might fall asleep while you're like cooking something and you might burn your head.
Has this happened to you?
Do you actively
No,
sleep
but-
next to the stove?
No, it has not happened to me, but I read about it in a newspaper. Because Finnish newspapers don't have any news, so they cover shit like that.
I mean, that is actually sort of newsworthy. Like,
Yeah.
how did that happen? It's a question.
Apparently the guy was just super sleep deprived.
Okay, my pen is missing.
Funny things can happen when you don't sleep.
Well, you start seeing things, apparently.
Fuck it, I won't take notes if I can't find my pen.
No.
As if I didn't have... Oh, there you are. What the fuck?
As if you didn't have 30 pens.
30? That's adorable.
A multiple of 30? 30 logarithmic?
That seems about right. Whatever that means.
I don't know, I never got past Algebra 1.
30 squared.
You do know that logarithm of 30 is like less than 30.
I know. Well,
It's
no,
like
I didn't.
It's like 1.4.
I have 1.4 pens. I'm sure of it.
Can you
I had a
find
friend
them?
who had a backpack full of pens. Because apparently he robbed IKEA. Because he
IKEA
got
has
annoyed.
pens?
IKEA has
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, they
IKEA,
have.
they have like, I don't know if it's actually, but like, because they have like the shopping list, and then they give you like this couple inch long, like tiny little IKEA branded pens.
Yeah.
And you can just remove the bottom of those so all of them flow out. So he just literally put his backpack under it and removed the bottom, and all the pens flowed into his backpack because he got annoyed that everyone kept asking him for pens and he never had them. So he just had like closer to 60 pens in his backpack, and he just threw them at people whenever they asked.
That's horrible.
It was actually very convenient. I didn't have to bring a pen a single time that year in the school.
I'm annoyed at people asking me for pens, so I'll become the source of pens.
No, he was annoyed at the fact that he never had them.
Oh. Well, that
Because
changes
people
the story
never-
significantly.
Because people never returned them. So he found a way, because at the point when you just rob IKEA for pens, you don't really give a shit if people give them back or not.
I'm laughing at my own typo, but I can't read my last week's notes. That was English, definitely.
Yes. L and N are totally the same letter.
As the group's expert on English, I will agree.
So, last week, we sneak up at night to hunt ghost. 8 riders. They very undead. Kelly horses, whites, charge my boy. Derp MVP. Derp is down. Sabur flies. Death from above, bitches. We killed them. Dwarf butler person thinks the lords were alive. Still, his name is Amrith. The whites only resided in the banquet hall, and it says banquet as in written like blanket without N instead of properly writing banquet. Anyway, Amrath is fine now.
Only thing that reminded me of was the fact that Derp is fucking badass.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to invent a thing called the blanket hall, where people just like it's like for high society napping.
I feel like that might just be a hall of blankets, because high society, and you have to say words in the wrong order and just add off.
Well,
Sure.
now that I've made the order for food, maybe I should actually put on pants.
Who cares? I mean,
I mean, it's not like you're gonna order from them again.
That is true.
yeah.
Well, I actually made this order because they had a 20% discount today, so if they have that at another time, I might order from it again without remembering I ever ordered from it before.
You are very easy to convince to buy food.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm after this, I'm gonna go to sleep anyway. So I'm just like, I have underpants and a t-shirt.
I'm trying to stay awake for the whole session.
Sounds like a plan.
Life goals.
Of course, this means I'll be asleep in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we killed the Hand Lords, and there was a dwarf person that went to serve as Dane's mom thing. Derp isn't dead because certain lums saved him, and
Certain lump.
yeah,
Just one of them.
yeah.
Yeah, also, it sounded like you said he is going to service Dane's mom.
Booyah!
A giggity.
Oh no.
But I'm sure I miss her.
Either way, the slash fiction writes itself.
Yes, the world needs that.
Totally.
Okay. So you freed Noana's hold from the evil hunt lords that haunted the place. And yeah, I think you were on your way towards Everland still?
Yeah, for the teleportation circle thing.
Wasn't that Silvery Moon?
Nope. It was Everland. It was Silvery Moon once when I mixed up the places.
Ah,
It actually says that outside of town on the sign.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm assuming you will start your journey towards Everland on the next day,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
yeah. Together with the big giant. I don't remember his name.
Harshnag.
Harshnag.
Irrelevant side note: carrying 2,500 trading cards with you hurts your back. They weigh a lot.
The more you know.
Paper, it weighs something.
Yes.
Paper. It's trees in thin slices.
Or less thin slices, depending on in what form the paper is.
Or even more thinner, more
In
thin.
any case,
More thinner.
you will pass by Calling Horns again. And I don't remember if you have business there still or not.
I never have business anywhere.
I don't
But
think
it-
we ever returned there after clearing the moors of trolls.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
Because I think we went to the cave with the dragon, and then I can't remember. Stuff happened.
Yeah, because somebody tried to explore a cloud giant fortress.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was successful, sort of.
It might have
It
been
was.
somebody's finest moment.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, so you take about a day on the road to return to Calling Horns.
Yep.
Beep beep, we're here for our reward.
Is there a reward?
Depends if you negotiate one.
Oh, I
Wait, did we just go into the troll moors without negotiating a reward? I thought the reward was free room and board for
Oh yeah, that too.
perpetuality.
Yeah, that was part of the deal. I remember.
Oh, that's fine. But that's all the reward I need. For falling into a hole? Was that the time?
Yes.
I'm confused. We've done so many things, good things for people that I can't remember with what we did for who, down, what.
So you return to the Calling Horns Inn, or the Lodge Inn. That is ran by the
Sheriff? Or
sheriff,
Not sheriff.
the power that be. And as you return to the establishment, she looks at you and says, "Oh, you've returned. You took your sweet time. Thought you were dead."
We got sidetracked. We went to hunt some ghosts.
Ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
Were
Yeah.
the ghosts in wars?
Ever heard of the Hunt Lords? That are right like a days worth away or something.
Yeah, I heard some travelers talking about this urban legend, I think.
Well, they were real, but they're not anymore.
Right. Okay. And they were responsible for the trolls?
Sure.
No, the giants were responsible for the trolls, but we killed both in kind. Can I have my room keys now?
Giants.
Yeah, but not like this one that we have with us. This one is friendly.
Oh yeah, she.
Yeah, I don't think Harshnag fits into the door.
I mean, he might squeeze through.
Well,
Anyway,
if he doesn't
there's-
fit in, then maybe try to make him comfortable in the stables or something. I'm sorry, Harshnag.
It's okay. I'm used to it by now.
You have the opposite problem from me, and Derp and Burr. Everything is too big for us. Like tables are too tall, and beds can fit all of the three of us at the same time. I don't want that though.
Yeah, and for the first time in his life, Burr is gonna have one human-sized bed to himself.
Are you actually gonna sleep in a bed?
Yes, but I'm gonna tie off first so I don't get lost.
Oh, that seems wise.
He says, "Well, a deal is a deal. You have, you will always have a room and food and drink here. Now, please sit and tell me what happened. And you, I'm assuming you spent a bit of time to talk to her about what you have.
Yeah, there's like a whole montage and like shadow puppets. Although like disturbingly good shadow puppets.
And I will deliver the music to make it even more festive.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So, I hope the Sarge music is basically Mick Gordon. I just point out that I hope the Lizard's music is basically just Mick Gordon's.
Hmm.
It would be fitting to battle like this.
It's all very fascinating.
Okay, so you spin your tales about cloud giants and fire giants and trolls and wights and whatnot.
And a dragon!
And the dragon, of course. How could I forget about the perpetually unlucky dragon?
Okay, at this point, I must say, this doesn't sound believable anymore.
But she does say, that might explain the boulders raining from the sky near here
Yep.
too long ago.
I hope nothing got damaged.
No.
Oh, that's good. It was, we didn't mean to cause a boulder rain. Obviously. Sometimes these things just happen.
Yeah, especially when there are plenty of restless giants about.
Yeah.
So all of this probably takes a while, and which would make it pretty late in the evening now.
Oh, I'm gonna go to sleep then. after just an hour of yoga or something.
Okay. So, unless the others want to go for drunken stupor, we will skip to the morning.
Yeah, I'm not one for drunken stupor, so I will go to bed also after an hour or so.
I too will go to bed, and I will actually tie myself off to one of the bedposts so I don't get lost.
That is a wise decision.
As will Derp.
Different or same bed?
Different rooms. We're gonna ride this as far as we can.
Cool.
So, in the next morning, over breakfast, the innkeeper approaches you with a piece of parchment, and she says, "You've been true to your word, and you have investigated the Moors, and even, well, while you might have caused a couple of problems, but you solved ours. So, as you might know, I've been an adventurer in my time. So, if you ever travel to Everland, maybe if you show this to the innkeeper in Danivar's house, maybe you can turn in an old favor. He still owes.
Oh, that's nice.
And how coincidental. That's exactly where we're headed.
Well, she didn't know that.
I know, I'm just saying that.
Sopayep. Sopayep? What? That's a word. Excuse me. I will put the thing in my pocket. The piece of paper, that is. Oh,
And before you leave, she will turn to Lazar and whisper to him, "Of course, if you need a favor that's maybe not quite on the legal side, you might also be able to call in a favor with the Hand of Yartar with this."
Yartar.
Thank you. What did you call it? The hand of
The Hand of Yartar.
Yata.
It's
Yeah, it's the city. Well,
yeah, it's a city. She
thing
says
is-
it's a network of people operating in that city, away from prying eyes, if you understand.
I thank you very much. I'll be looking into it. If
After
there's
that,
a need for it.
she will bid you a farewell, and then you are free to be on your way, in whichever direction.
Every direction explodes.
Yeah, let's split up,
Let's not.
because that always works like a charm.
Yep. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
So you travel along the trade road for a couple of days. And about 2 days into your journey towards Everland, you stumble across a peculiar sight because there is a herd of sheep blocking the road.
That's weird.
Is one of them standing out front with a switchblade, flicking it back and forth?
Nope.
Just
They are
checking.
They're just blocking the road, grazing, as if it's nothing.
Oh dear. Does anyone know how to speak sheep?
No. Batboy, fly up. See if you can see, like, the owner of these sheep. I mean, Lazar?
I'm not Bat Boy, but you can call me the Batman.
No, I
Uh,
like bad boy
Winged you.
more.
Yeah,
Winged dude.
I will only call you Batman if you also do the voice.
I can't. Yeah, I will fly up and take a look, since apparently a bird doesn't speak sheep.
I meant to take it in college. It just,
You never went to college?
yes.
What
Just
level
a
are you
question.
actually? What level were
Just
we?
8, I think.
You should have. You were barbarian, right?
Yeah.
You should have speak with animals as a ritual spell.
Oh.
That's true.
I think he gets that at the 3rd level, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Burr spends 10 minutes of just like sitting and making sheep sounds, I assume. And then it's like, oh, I can now speak sheep for like an hour.
No, he'll be staring into the eye of a sheep in order to understand its spirit, connecting with its totem.
Yep, so I will ritually cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Uh,
So you do your ritual,
Hail thee, fair sheep.
and as you concentrate, you can more and more understand the sheep, and you can hear them talking to each other, saying, "Oh, that was frightening. That was frightening. I'm glad we were away from there." And then you approach one and say, "Oh, hello, sheep," and the sheep you approach backs away a bit and says, "Yes, hello."
I couldn't help but overhearing. What frightening thing were you just extricating yourself from?
I don't know. It was large, and it drove away the one who always feeds us and takes our wool.
Now, drove away so you saw this one get away, or did you see him get eaten?
No, the large thing approached, and the one who gave us food just made haste to get away.
I see,
And then
I
the
see.
And then the large thing took down our shed and the shed of the one who gives us food. And we made a decision to also try to get away. And now we are here.
I see, I see. Well, do you think you could possibly lead us back to where the shed and the shed of your feeder were? We can protect you, and I'm sure you would like to be much closer to your food.
I don't know. Give me a minute. And they turn, and they basically huddle.
Huddle, 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 huddle. That's the
And
sound they make.
as
when
they
huddle.
discuss if they want to go back or not, it eventually turns back to you and says, yes, we could.
Most excellent. Are you the leader of these fine sheep?
No, I'm just the one you talk to.
Oh, he has a name now.
Well, the one I've talked to. Could I possibly ride on you for this journey?
You do look small enough.
And we do still have our goats. And cart.
Oh yeah, you have goats. You have goats now. They will probably be a bit apprehensive about the goats.
I find it amusing that the goats can understand bird, but they can't understand the sheep.
Also, since you have cast Speak with Animals, you will also hear your goats saying, "Oh, sheep, they are so dumb."
Hey, now that's not very nice.
But it's true.
Sheep are probably even more confused now.
Listen, we're gonna have a talk later. But for now, the sheep lead us. And in this entire time, I haven't switched back to common, and I'm just like getting up on the sheep. And the group of sheep is slowly starting to move away.
Burr?
Oh, yeah, they're leading us.
To where?
They said their farm got attacked by a giant, and I told them that we could protect them, and that it would probably be better, where their shed used to be.
Okay, okay. I guess we're going with the sheep. This is fine.
Yeah, let's follow. For some reason, I have a feeling that it might be a stone giant.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Because someone probably needs to feed their queen.
But they didn't take the sheep.
That's true.
Yeah, the ones with the hungry queen are the hill giant.
Oh, that is also true.
Oh, yeah, it was those I meant. But it might be a stone giant too, then.
Yeah, so they lead you for a bit of the way, and they lead you to what looks to be an empty field that looks like it has been freshly tilled.
Well, this is a field.
And they stop, and they will be adamant that this is the place. No, it was here. I'm sure of it. And the goats go, "Oh, they're so dumb. Don't even remember where they live."
I can just imagine one of the goats going, "Oh my god."
I will fly up and look around.
Yeah, it looks like if there has been a structure here, it has been completely removed.
Like, put into a giant's bag.
Well, obviously not in one piece, but
There must be
It's-
some dents
It's
on the
not.
ground.
It's not like somebody destroyed a house. It's like it's gone.
Like, is there a chance that here was never a house in the first place? Like, is it just an
Well,
empty
okay.
field that's
Does the
missing
field
a
look like
house?
it's been plowed, like human plowing? Does it look
Um,
like it's just completely ripped out?
Part of it looks like it has been used for agriculture, and part of it looks like it's just been dug into.
I see, I see. Well, I think our sheep friends are correct that this is the right place. We should probably fan out and look for the owner if they're around.
Yeah, when I'm in the air, I'll look around to see if I can spot any tracks. Big tracks.
Oh yeah, there are big tracks.
Those aren't the tracks we're trying to find.
I'll get on the top of Harsnag Head, and I will be there and look around.
Yes, and so will he. Give me a couple of perception checks.
But that was performance. So 23.
I see Harsnag.
Snag is rolling with the advantage.
Oh,
So that
yeah, I
was
forgot to.
that was actually a 12.
Oh, great.
Harshnag sees Mika.
So, yeah, Lizar, from your vantage point, you can make out that the area that wasn't apparently a field is vaguely shaped like the base of a house would be.
Well, if you look there, and there, I think that was the edges of the house.
Fascinating. Did you know that there's a squirrel living in Harsnag's head? I mean, on Harsnag's head, not inside.
Yeah,
I
of
don't know
course.
how long this person has been here. I mean, this squirrel. There's a squirrel here. Harsnag, did you know this?
What squirrel?
There's a squirrel here.
No, that can't be.
Yep, there is.
And it runs down his arm. And, oh, yeah. Well, okay.
I mean,
I never noticed that.
it's a pretty comfortable space for a small animal, I guess.
I hear they sell a special comb for that.
Squirrel.
Also, while all of this is happening, Lum finds something else.
Ooh.
And it looks like a piece of wood sticking out of the ground.
I get over to it.
Actually, a pretty substantial piece of wood, like a structural support beam type of wood.
I call the others over and it's like, yeah, there's probably a house here at some point.
Well, there's no house now.
I think
Which
you
is
know what that
slightly
means. We need to build a house.
Okay.
Our house in the middle of the our house.
I'm confused.
Well, so I kind of want to get the farmer back. I feel like maybe we should follow the giant's footsteps. But then it's not like we could just leave it's not like we can bring the sheep with us, and it's not like we can leave them here, so kill them all. I mean, no. Um,
Couldn't Derp like be shepherding them?
Well,
Would you trust a goblin with herding sheep?
Of course, it's Derp. We trust him with our lives.
he is the most amazing.
He's an amazing wraith killer.
Sure.
or we could, like, Dane could stay here with the sheep and with everything else and guard them from every danger. Eddie danger. That sounds like a terrible daredevil.
He could do that, yes. True. He will
And we
probably
just go
volunteer
look for
and
the
do that.
farmer. No, wait, what are we doing? We're looking for the farmer, but we're also...
Following giant trash.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't think Dane would stay with that stuff if there was giants.
Probably. But it would be convenient.
Yes.
I'll stay with the sheep.
But you're important and we need you.
Okay, so in this case, I'm gonna train all of the sheep to fight.
Can't you ask the goats to guard them?
I think the goats might be racist.
They can still guard them.
Yeah, but do you want them to? I don't know.
Actually, Harshnag will volunteer to guard the sheep.
Oh, that's okay. Cool.
Ah, good man.
And the goats.
That's nice. Also, even if they're racist, they still deserve to be protected from, like, wolves and shit.
Wolves and
Racist?
shit.
They're goats.
So, following the footsteps of a giant.
Yeah, the footsteps of the giant lead towards the high forest.
My favorite forest.
And you follow them for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And just before you have to enter the forest, you can see that there is a person sitting beneath under one of the trees.
Like a human-sized person?
Yes, a human-sized person.
Good morrow, friend.
Huh? What?
Don't be alarmed, I'm not actually a teddy bear.
Okay.
Are you a sheep farmer?
How do you know?
Because we talked to your sheep.
They are quite concerned about you.
You talk to the sheep. They are still alive?
Indeed.
Yeah, it's what the bear can do, and I will point to Burr.
Okay, good. I was trying to see if my farm still stands.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't? How do you know?
We just came
It's
from
not
there.
anymore.
It's like gone.
How gone? Is it demolished?
No, it's just
No.
like not there.
Like, it's like someone just kind of picked it up and walked away with it.
I mean, I was fleeing from this giant, but couldn't have picked up the house by its own.
It's
did have
possible
friends.
that it took it to tiny pieces and
I saw the way it was shaped. Could it look like it had used a big shovel or something like that?
It could have been, yeah.
Well, maybe it used a shovel.
It's straight.
Well, I mean, if it's a big enough giant to use a shovel that could pick up a house, then it's big enough to have picked up the house. So I think we might be crossing some wires here.
I don't understand what happened.
I think the giant that chased you off was then chased off. Possibly. I don't know.
I think it did the same thing that the stone giants were doing, where the angry dragon lives. They were taking apart houses, brick by brick. But this one obviously didn't throw the things into a river because there's no river.
Was there anybody else living with you, possibly, that needs to be rescued?
No, I lived by my own. Only me and my sheep.
Well, I think most of your sheep are alive and well.
We'll be more than happy to escort you back to them. I'd be willing to help you build a new structure. Possibly not exactly where the old one was, because, might be in a bad neighborhood. But I can't speak for the rest of my compatriots.
Well, I've never built, but I could help, I guess.
It takes a while.
Yeah, I don't think we have time for it. I mean, bad stuff is happening everywhere. I think it's more important that we find a way to stop them.
I think we could knock it out in a couple days if we have Harshnag helping.
Possibly. But I think we should first go investigate this giant thing that took the house, just to make sure that he doesn't come back to take the new one also.
Once again, you're clearly the smarter person here.
Thanks. I think it's my wisdom instead of my intelligence. I haven't read much books. I mean, I've read books, but not much of them.
So you escort him back to the place where his house once was?
Yep, and before we get there, I will warn him that there is a giant there, but he's a friendly one.
Okay. So you get back to the X farm, I suppose. And all the sheep are still there, and your goats, and your everything that you left behind. And Harshnag has been investigating a bit, and you can see that he's been digging around a bit in the soil where the house once was. And you can see that apparently the wooden parts of the house have been buried, but there is no sign of the stones.
Okay, that's just weird. Why would you bury the wood parts? What? Why?
And the farmer is visibly distraught by his house being gone.
Like you are.
But he is glad that his sheep are still alive. And after a quick count, it's even all of them.
You're obviously free to share our rations and waters and stuff.
That's very friendly of you, but no, not but. I think I probably don't have another choice now.
Another choice, but just share with us.
Yes.
Yes, well, you could be a proud, stupid idiot who decides that a, a god will save you and just wait for a miracle and ignore the fact that we're here. But I don't think you're that kind of person.
It would also be possible that if you wanted to, we are going to a lost and sold, and you could follow us there and see if you could set up a farm in that area.
Yes, that might possibly be a good idea.
It seems safer than out in this area.
Yeah. Is all of your stuff also gone?
Well, yeah. I only have what I have on me now.
That's unfortunate. Did they actually, like, bury his bed?
Oh, yeah.
I guess we can salvage the blanket?
If you dig around a bit, you might.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Clearly you don't understand the comfort of home and having your own things.
No, not really.
And do you want to try and salvage a blanket?
Yes, and anything else I can find from the ground.
You find. Well, do an investigation.
This is one of my massive strengths.
Well, you find a couple of broken pots. Something that might have been a blanket or a tablecloth. It's 50-50.
Like, I don't think much of this is salvageable, sadly.
But you do notice something that is, well, not strange, but something that you wouldn't have expected. It is a very round piece of stone.
What the heck is this?
As she says that, I will check it out.
Yeah, it's a round stone, about the size of a human fist. And there is a rune on it.
I will examine it. Is the rune a giant?
Yeah. It is the giant rune for stone.
Well, it seems like this is the giant rune for stone.
They're not very careful about these things. Or maybe they left it on purpose. Harshnag,
Yes.
you being a giant, why do giants carry these things with them? Like this thing here with the word.
Show me. Show me.
There you go.
And he chuckles and says, "Oh, that is like me asking you why you have this fancy amulet, or a magical sword, or whatever."
Oh, it's magical?
Yes, it is infused with giant rune magic.
Well, I will try and figure out what it does then.
What Harshnag? What does it do?
That's Harshnag.
He hands it back to you.
What's
Uh,
it do?
I'm not sure what it is.
Well, I think it does something. Hey,
It
Yeah.
does something. Yes.
Lum, how about you help me out here?
I'm not really good at finding out stuff. They're magic.
Well, you do have magic, so
Yeah, I still have a plus 0
help
to Arcana.
help me out, okay?
Thane, get over here.
Sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly what it does.
I used to
Yeah.
make these in school.
You notice a couple of similarities with the other giant, with the other items that have runes on them that you've already found. This also has magic infused in it.
Mhm.
And it is, if you can see it now.
Oh,
Wall of text.
Yes. You can't be petrified. But it's gonna be useful if you ever fight a Medusa.
oh. Oh,
Nifty.
You could say this orb makes you more like a stone giant.
You could, but that'd be a little obvious.
That is an interesting stone. I do believe it would fit best in the hands of either Burr or Dane. Though maybe you can use it too, Mika.
oh, I don't really know.
It doesn't say anywhere if it requires attunement. I assume it does, since it has so many effects.
Hang on, maybe I forgot to note it down. Let me double check.
But it does say that if you put it into the boots or seal, then it does require attunement. So I sort of just assume it normally.
Yeah, if you transcribe the rune, the item requires attunement. The orb itself also requires attunement. I forgot to.
Yeah, I can't use it. So, you wanted Burr? Or you wanted Mika?
Eh,
I mean, I can take it.
Although it does belong on this good farmer's land.
do you want it, farmer man?
So I would assume in order for us to obtain it, we should be giving him some gold that could help him set up a new life.
Well, sure. I was just going to give him gold anyway, but
Well, at least now I'd feel better about it since it's actually for some goods.
um, well, sure, you can do that. But, um, I would like to go after the giant now and come back later to, sleep and stuff.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm looking at Lum and Burndane, and should we go hunt the giant? Or giants?
Sure. I'm fine with this.
I am not okay with this. I think it is
That's
a bad idea,
enthusiasm.
and I think that
Well,
From at this point, the farm. Do you intend to find it? It could be anywhere by now.
we followed
It
the
has-
footsteps it's
It,
left.
it has been a while since it scared me off.
How long is a while?
A couple of days.
Oh, well, I guess there's no point then.
I was hiding out in the forest and I was just gathering my courage to return today.
Oh, terrible, you must be very tired. I mean, hungry.
and
I
cold.
did forage a bit.
Yeah, but that's not as good as a good warm mac and cheese meal.
Yes. Yeah, I probably will try to make for Olostin's hold as quickly as I can.
Oh,
Um,
we will help you get there.
yeah, we're going in that direction anyway.
And I will help you find yourself another farm or a job. And your sheep will also get a job. Sheep.
Yeah, that is very kind of you. Thank you. I suppose I don't have any belongings anymore, so might as well leave.
Well, um, I can give you some belongings if you want, like
Just
these
hands him
incense
Burr.
sticks. I will not give Burr. What? I have incense sticks I don't need.
Or a giant-sized kettle.
Yeah, it's like a bath. I sadly don't think we have anything useful to give you, except, you know,
Yeah.
help.
Don't we usually have a group loot somewhere?
Yes.
Oh, I think I accidentally hid that from you.
These ungrateful player characters. Grumble, grumble.
No, I think I clicked on the wrong one when I made the orb.
Why the hell are we running around with 2 rowboats?
No.
I think the rowboats are on the robe of useful items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just been
hadn't
rowing
noticed
away on
row
the
of
ground.
useful
Oh
items.
yeah. Is Lam wearing the robe of useful items?
Yes, I am.
This is good.
I am a robot.
It is very stylish.
I
Indeed.
mean, there are 2 rowboats and 2 ladders on there, and a riding horse.
What?
The
And a
poor
portable
horse.
ram. The portable ram is very nice.
Sure.
Or you can just pull out a pit.
Yes. That's also good.
Yep, it's definitely an item.
All of these are very useful in the right circumstance.
That's true.
Okay, so you will have a couple of traveling mates until a Lost in Hold, which is 1 shepherd and a herd of sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And on the remaining night before you come to a Lost in Hold, you will probably be extra vigilant, so none of the sheep get lost.
Oh, definitely. The sheep are valuable.
And they're also my friends.
It's true.
And the goats don't care for them.
I'm starting to care a lot less for these goats. Now that I can communicate with them.
They can't even climb mountains. They're not useful for anything. At least they're warm. Is what the goats say.
That's such a weird thing to say about a person.
I
Well,
never,
it's not
I
about
never
her.
said that the goats were good at small talk.
And for a goat, a sheep is a person. Okay.
Well, it's a distant cousin.
A person.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there.
Oh, yep.
Anyway, after about another half a days of travel, after you spend 1 night, you come to a well, it's Olostin's Hold. It's pretty much a small fortified keep. And within its walls, there is a very small village. As you arrive, you gain entry, and you quickly find out this small village consists of a market, a smithy, a caravan supplier, an inn, and a tavern. And that's about it.
Okay, what time it is and where is the mayor of this village?
It is about noon,
Or any other
possibly
leader?
early afternoon.
I guess I'll go towards the tavern.
Yeah, the tavern is called the Flaming Flagon. And you hear it's the best tavern in the village
It's the
because
only-
it's
Big
the only tavern.
surprise.
It's also the worst. It's the worst tavern in a 5-mile radius, probably.
Finally, a gay bar.
So you head for the tavern, and you come inside the tavern, and it's a pretty decently looking tavern. There's not much going on in there right now. You do notice a strange floating flagon in the middle of the room, though.
Okay, that's weird.
Well, I'll examine it, and as I do, I will put down an order for some beer and something eatable.
Coming right up.
I'm gonna go talk to the barkeep and ask if there's any empty houses in the village or near it.
Don't know of any empty houses in the village. There are a couple of farmholds around outside.
Who would I have to talk to about purchasing one?
They are usually private property.
Do you know any of the owners?
Yeah, some of them, or most of them trade their goods with us. So I actually know quite a few of them.
Is anyone here tonight?
I think old Jebediah should be coming around with some grain today.
Well, if he does, could you please alert me?
Why?
Oh, I have a farmer and his sheep who would probably like a farm.
Right. Okay. Yeah, sure, I can tell you when he comes in.
Good.
Also, meanwhile, Lazar and whoever else is sitting at a table, eating and drinking, and examining the strange floating flagon that's in the middle of the room, that also now is shedding light.
That's nifty. What's the story about that? I will ask the bartender, innkeeper, whatever he is. Tavern keep.
Says, I see you noticed our floating flagon.
Yeah, it's hard to miss.
Yeah. See, this here flagon is the reason why this tavern is called the Flaming Flagon.
It's
You
not
see-
on fire though.
Well, no, but it is glowing, which is close to fire. But yeah, many years ago, there in this very tavern, a couple of wizards had a duel during this duel, this here tankard was enchanted. And ever since then, it's been floating here and casting light.
No.
Or at least that's the story.
Ugh, wizards.
There's
actually never
obviously
met one,
no
that's-
way for
that's-
me. Earth.
I will nod and smile and compliment him on the interesting story.
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
I guess I'll get something to eat while I wait for the farmer person to come.
Yes, it's going to take another. It's going to take a few hours until old Jebediah comes in with his wagon full of grain. But he's pretty hard to miss. He's an older gentleman, and he basically just kicks open the door because he doesn't have any hands free because he's carrying a large sack of grain. And he slams it down onto a table and says, "Ah, there's your grain. And I'll have an ale, please."
Good day.
Hey,
Are you old Jebediah?
who says I'm old? Huh. Yeah,
Oh.
Jebediah is my name.
Okay. Do you have empty farmhouses?
I have a farmhouse, which I'm currently occupying myself.
Well, do you know if there's any empty ones around here? Or if you'd be interested in having a farm helper and some sheep live with you?
Sheep?
Expanding the business?
I have been thinking of getting some livestock. Where are these sheep?
Oi, farmer man, whose name I'd never ask.
Probably called something like John.
John!
Jan the sheep farmer.
Yes?
Would you be interested in talking to this fine gentleman about living arrangements and working arrangements and shipping arrangements?
Keeping arrangements.
It's a technical term.
Yeah. I can see that you obviously know what you're talking about. Yeah, I suppose I could. And they start talking about how many sheep he has, and at first it sounds like he's just trying to buy the sheep. But it then becomes clear that John is looking for a place to stay with his sheep. And after a while they come to an agreement.
That's nice. I'm happy.
Yeah. it's an agreement that was basically John is a shepherd. He knows what he's doing, and also cheese.
Jeez.
Yes, because sheep give milk, and you can make cheese out of milk. And cheese is good.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, so yeah. Cheese and wool have won the day.
Well, I'm happy I could help you, John and Jebediah. I will now retire and go to sleep.
Okay. So you are going to visit inn, I suppose. Yeah. It's not difficult to find. It is a place called the Headless Troll.
Oh God. Jeez. Who would ever want to sleep in a headless troll?
Well, and the proprietor as well, I don't know. Thought it was a catchy name given with what happened to it.
The dead troll? What troll?
Yeah, you know, funny story that quite a while ago there was a troll just wandering into the village. And it didn't have a head,
Oh,
and
that's
people were pretty scared of it because it's still a freaking troll, even though it had no head. So one of the villagers said, "Oh, I know how to kill a troll. You gotta burn it." Burned.
that's a good story.
And, yeah, the thing is, it didn't just drop dead. It continued to walk around while burning. It almost burned this house down.
Oh,
So I thought, well, might as well make a good story out of it and call it the Headless Troll.
that's nice.
Anyway, a room?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Number 3.
Okay.
And yeah, anybody who also wants a room will get one.
I assume this is not a flourishing tourist attraction.
No, it is a glorified rest stop between Yatar and Avalon.
Hmm.
Well, actually, between Calling Horns and Avalon.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
Then I'll sleep and wake up in the morning.
Well, when it get late enough, I'll of course go to the tavern and get a room and sleep.
Okay. Then get up in the morning working for Bretza.
What?
No, never mind.
Morning.
Yes, morning. Morning and breakfast, and John and Jebediah will make their way back to the farm
With all the sheep.
with all the sheep. And
I'll
you
make
are
sure
now-
that Shabir is awake to wave them goodbye.
Yeah, he will. And depending on whether he he switched his ritual on or not, he will hear the goats go, "Oh, finally." So you are about a day's travel away from Everland.
Guess we should start walking.
Yeah, by the way, didn't we talk about giving him some gold?
Well, we did, but he's gone already.
Oh, it was probably not that important then.
I mean, he did find a new place to
I
live.
mean, yeah, you did set him up with the new living arrangements.
So it's probably gonna be good.
Well, I'll trust you, Mika. You know best.
I really don't.
That is very honest.
So,
I guess we are continuing then.
yep, with our goats.
Yeah. Your trusty goats are still with you.
Actually, I still have a reindeer.
Yeah.
Because I didn't jump the goat wagon.
Yeah. The reindeer was just very, oh, sheep, cute.
That's almost as bad.
Oh, sheep cute, but they don't have antlers, so I don't care about them.
What's the reindeer's opinion about goats?
They jump a lot and they're annoying.
Okay.
Okay, so you travel towards Lund.
Mm-hmm.
And on your way, you meet a caravan coming from Everland, and you trade a bit of gossip, as you do. And apparently, there has been a decision lately that Everland will not be a part of the Lord's Alliance anymore. Whatever that means.
Shocking.
Why not?
Yeah, there was a vote. There was a vote, and the elders voted to get out of the Lord's Alliance because of some trouble. Some trouble in the Silver Marches where the Lord's Alliance didn't really help, and they don't know much more because they're just traveling traders. But something along the lines of setting a sign that the Lord's Alliance inactivity will not be tolerated.
Seems reasonable to me.
Well, I guess if they're strong enough to stand against the giant menace, then they probably should.
You're so condescending. If they haven't been helped, why would they want to be a part of an organization that doesn't help them? I assume there's some sort of membership fee or something.
Possibly.
So, if they're not being protected, the membership fee is not worth it.
Was it Evelyn that wasn't being protected?
Mm,
I don't think that traveling merchant people know.
well, it was apparently there has been a dispute in a town near Everland, but not Silvery Moon because people know this. But yeah, there has been a conflict in the Silver Marches, and the people were looking to the Lord's Alliance to restore order, and they didn't. So
And were those involved part of the Lord's Alliance, or did they just expect the Lord's Alliance to step in?
well, let me hang on.
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
TV Jam Down Team.
Well, as far as they know, it had something to do with a city being attacked by orcs and the Lord's Alliance just standing by.
Yeah, so as far as I know, it seems reasonable they would want to not be part of that anymore.
Yeah, well, what I was mostly wondering about was if the city or whatever it was had been part of the Lord's Alliance when it was under attack.
From what you have gathered, it had to have been. Otherwise, why would they care? But maybe you'll find out more once you are in Everland.
Yeah, let's go.
So you continue on your travels. At just around sunset, you arrive in the walls of Everland. You might know it as a very, very active mercantile community. It is well protected, well fortified. There is a large wall around it. And yeah, you arrive at one of the gatehouses, and you, after a quick background check about what's your business, you are permitted to enter the city.
How reckless. Nah, we're good people.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to ask the guards where we can find like the best inns and uh, stores and stuff.
Yes, for business or trade, they will point you to the Bell Market, which is in the center of the town. It's pretty difficult to miss. Also, for food and drink, they will direct you to Davinar's house, which is in what once was a mansion of a rich family, but has been repurposed as an inn. Also, you can see from afar that there is a tower standing on the far side of the city.
Oh, we're going to Davenar's house.
Whose house?
Davenar?
Yeah.
The fancy restaurant.
Yeah, let's head in that direction.
Okay. So, you head in the direction that the guards tell you. You have to cross one of the two bridges over the river, and it is located on the west side, right along the riverbank. And
Yeah, of course I forgot now, but in Evelyn, how did we find that place? I think we had to speak to someone.
Probably. We usually do have to talk to someone.
yeah, you mean the teleportation circles?
Yeah,
Yeah, you were told to talk to the people in the Moongleam Tower.
Well,
Like-
they can wait for me.
well, I guess that big tower thing is the Moonglim Tower.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can go there tomorrow.
For tonight, we feast.
We do?
Tonight we dine in hell.
I was thinking of just dining, at a table.
Yeah, preferably. I don't want to go anywhere.
I almost want to bring the goats inside just so they can see how good people have it, and then never bring them anywhere nice ever again.
What about the reindeer?
Well, I will dine in hell and then I will show off my 12 pack and I will fight for Sparta.
Also, will you, when the arrows block out the sun, will you fight in the shade?
Of course I will.
Ah,
You can
But-
sit at your own table.
so you enter Devinar's house.
Not actually bringing the goats.
The innkeeper is a large half orc with an eye patch. And you enter, and he says, "Customers, what can Dral Thelev do for you for this fine day?"
We were told this was the finest dining experience in the entire city.
Ah, you have been told the truth.
Nice.
So I would like your best table, and then 4 of your house specialty, and then 8 of your specialty drinks.
And he's now confused at what? We're supposed to have specialties?
No, he isn't.
I didn't know what happened.
Of course, he has specialties.
Any restaurant pretending to be a good restaurant has specialties.
This is true.
Well, if you got enough of it, I guess we would like a big portion for our friend who's outside.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we should all like to eat outside.
Actually, I think if he squeezes into the door, he will fit into the room.
Oh, then our friend here. But I guess he's been standing here this entire time, so if he's already agreeing, I assume.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, well, I mean, yeah."
Excuse me?
He wasn't sure if he has had enough, but he's confident that he can feed. Today's special is roasted goat.
Oh
By the
dear.
way,
Oh dear.
Burr is fine with this.
yeah. Apart from small talk of where did you meet and what brings you here and stuff, there is not really anything of particular importance happening. Unless you make it important, of course.
Nah.
Important about us. There's barely even anything remarkable about us. Giant 2 teddy bears. Small orc.
And
Oi,
Batman.
not an orc.
I'm
Bad
just.
boy.
I'm semi-narrating.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you spend a while in this tavern, you will probably hear more of the gossip that the traders you met told you about. Apparently, most people are shocked and appalled that the Lord's Alliance wouldn't help the dwarves of Sandabar. And most people agree that it is good that Everland has now declared themselves free of the Lord's Alliance.
I want to know, why didn't they help?
Yeah, I'm
We
getting a very chaotic notion of starting my own rumors.
Nobody knows why they didn't help, but they didn't help.
That's very rude.
On the other hand, some people say, well, it was during the time where that is now called the War of the Silver Marches.
Hmm.
And yeah, ever since Sandabar was sacked by the orcs, the dwarves have since reclaimed it, but they don't allow humans to enter anymore.
Well, that happens when you don't help.
And they also have obviously declared themselves free of the Lord's Alliance. After
And it was the only place being attacked. That was the reason they were upset. Or were other places attacked too?
No. The orcs only attacked Sandabar, but there was a lot of fighting in the area because there was a war going on when that happened. So some say that the Lord's Alliance just didn't have enough manpower to help, because they also tried to remain, because they also tried to end the war on the top, but the dwarves just didn't see it that way. They just saw that nobody came to help them, so They're not interested in the lords anymore.
Well,
I
that sounds
understand.
terrible.
Yes, of course, it is. That is a crushing blow to the economy in the area because Sandabar is the sister city to Mirabar and of similar wealth. And since humans are not welcome there anymore, that is wealth that the humans don't get now.
Yeah, well, this is why you help people when they need help.
You don't need to tell me.
Oh, I'm not telling you, I'm just stating a fact.
Yes, and there is a lot of harumph going on.
A lot of what?
People say harumph, harumph, harumph.
What the hell does that mean?
They're just
Upset?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess nothing we can really do about it.
I suppose not. But, well, that's not why we're here anyway.
Yeah, you will be able to get a room if you desire one. You probably are. Which you probably do. And on the next day, you are free to go wherever you want to.
Disney World.
Nah.
The Disney Tower.
Yeah, Disney World. Your choice was unwise because really, who wants to go there?
Kids?
Yeah,
Kids
Kids
who don't
act like one?
understand that
kids don't have a say.
kids who don't understand that it will be full of other children and there's no way you're gonna have fun because there's too many there. But if it's the morning, then we should go to the tower.
Yes, also Lazar, Lam, and Burr will be familiar with at least the name of the Moongleam Tower because a certain group of people has made it their home.
Oh. That is some terrible people. We should burn it down.
Yeah, you need to take a chill pill.
No, not these. The others.
Yeah.
The more
Oh,
musical ones.
Oh, so it's not the center.
No.
Oh, how do you confuse this every time we come back here?
No, it's the
The first time I'm here.
the Moongleam Tower is a Harper base. Of course, not many people would know that.
A Harper should.
Well, yeah, which is why I told you.
Yeah, which is now why I'm pretending to scold Bia.
Well, I will be scolded as I go towards it.
Yeah, it is a very imposing-looking black tower made of black stone.
But
And
it
it
has
stands
such a
on
lovely
a
name.
sort of hill inside the city, and it's basically 4 narrow towers joined together into one. and it has a roof that is an open turret, where there is a signaling mirror.
A what now?
A mirror.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Just took a while for me to receive the message.
Well, I'll make a symbol from the Harpers.
I will walk into the door.
And knock the secret knock.
Yes, all of the secret handshakes and secret coded messages will gain you entry. Greetings, friends. Please come in.
I guess we will enter.
Well, this wouldn't be the Hand of the Black Staff, would it?
No.
Okay.
The keeper of this tower at this point is called is a female human called Deviena, or however you want to pronounce it.
Steve?
Yes.
Sure.
And after a while, she will meet you and obviously recognize any secret handshake you offer to her.
Greetings. We have been told that you might be able to allow us access to teleportation.
Ah, yes, yes. You have come to the right place. We have a network of teleportation circles to the major cities.
Such as?
I have been. Yeah, we have a circle to Mirabar, we have a circle to Neverwinter, we have a circle to Yatar, and we have a circle to Waterdeep. And one to Loudwall. Which, granted, isn't a very large city, but we try to keep a good network.
What was the last one?
Loudwall.
Oh.
It's pretty much directly south on the other side of the west.
I just heard something about lard and was confused.
Yes, I have been told that I should expect a group of visitors at any point.
Yeah, it took a while to get here.
Yeah,
Got
we were in the
distracted
other.
a couple of times.
And then we
Yeah,
tell the
that's-
story with the shadow puppets.
And I will provide music.
Oh, this poor lady.
She's a harper, she loves it. But she will say, yes, with all the troubles giants are causing, I'm not surprised it took you a while. Yes, if you wish to have access to the teleportation circles, speak to Crowan. He is the mage in charge.
Thank you.
Where do we find him?
Yeah, he's in the East Tower.
I'm surprised you don't have a connection directly to Silvermoon.
Silver Moon is not that far. Can manage to travel there.
Yeah, you can't just use magic all willy-nilly. Burst says this as if he knows anything about magic.
mean, I suppose you would know some things because of Lum.
Yeah. You probably know something.
I know it exists, and that Lum can do it.
That's enough, probably. In most situations.
Well, do you know where we can find this Krogan?
Yes, she tells you that he's usually found in the teleportation chamber, which is above. And she tells you where it is, and gets one of the other harpers that are currently there to bring you there.
Thank you. Oh, exactly where was it that Snake Snack was taking us?
Harshnag?
Excuse me?
Yeah,
He is like
Harshnag.
one of the legendary heroes.
Yeah, but I have.
But he's not from here.
But he was taking us somewhere, and I remember it being in mountains.
Yeah, he wants to. He wants to go to the Eye of the All-Father, which is an ancient giant temple, which is located in the spine of the mountains. The spine of the world.
Spine of the spine.
The spine of the mountains. The spine of the world, which consists of mountains.
So I guess Mirabah would be the closest major city?
Yeah.
Well, the question is if we should ask if we could be sent to Mirabah then, and get Harshnag to go with us.
I guess that would be a thing, but let's just go talk to the person first. The teleportation specialist, I mean.
So you are led to the teleportation chamber, and inside you can see a wizard who is wearing a robe that is very similar to the one Lum's currently wearing.
Ooh.
Possibly a couple of different patches on it, but definitely also a row of useful things. He carries a staff and beside a writing desk and a couple of bookshelves, there are also about a dozen winged cats in there.
I hope that's the exact noise Mika makes.
Can I pet them?
Yeah, of course you can pet. Have you never seen a Tressim before?
I'll pet them all.
Oh yeah, she's seen a Trism before.
But not so many of them at the same place. At
Yeah.
the same time.
That's true. I only had relics.
Yeah,
And
so
about,
they
like,
let you pet them, and they do the thing that cats do when they mark you as their own.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they just basically rub themselves on your shins.
Yes, they will put your smell on them. And no, their smell on you.
Yes, one might assume that they have their own smell naturally.
Yeah.
Hey, yes.
And Crown says, "Oh, they like you."
I like them.
So I can see. Say, I could probably be persuaded to part with one of them.
Does one of you guys want to come with me?
Sorry, I missed.
I'm just gonna go sit on the floor in a meditative position And if one of them comes to lay on me,
You'll be
I
fine
will-
with it.
yeah, I'll like adopt that one.
Derp comes and sits on your lap.
Oh no. Go away, you're not a cat.
Make a. Give me a charisma check.
Oh no. But cats don't care about charisma.
I mean, Tressums have an intelligence of 11, so. um. While none of them is obviously very impressed by you, shall we say, one of them is
Fascinated by this weird little thing.
yeah, you could say that. And comes to you and to investigate.
I will do my darnest as not to scare this.
And after a while, it apparently notices that you are not a danger to it, so it will try. So it will proceed to climb onto you.
What? This is exciting. Okay, what's this? What's this name? What? Who is this?
You can name it whatever you want.
Oh, hello. Hello.
See, I have named them, but they are intelligent enough to know when you.
So, do you want like something in exchange for
No,
adoption?
no,
Oh,
it's okay.
nice.
When I saw how you react to them, I thought you might want to have one.
You're very kind.
I have enough. However, I wouldn't part with another one.
I will take good care of fellow. That's his name.
I hope so. If you don't, he will probably return to me.
Oh, that's reasonable.
And the Tressum flaps its wings a bit and flies around your head, examining you. It's a bit apprehensive, but it will stay with you.
This is the coolest day ever.
I'm totally gonna be talking that thing up.
Yeah. Anyway, I assume you haven't come here to pet Tressum, which is the weirdest euphemism ever.
How funny would it be if it was like, actually, no, we're okay, and then turn around?
No, we came to talk about access to teleportation circles.
Yes, so I have been told that some outsiders would be granted access. I take it those outsiders are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, where would you like to go?
We were talking about Mirabar just now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mirabar. Oh yeah, that's one of them. Uh, and he starts doing the ritual to activate the teleportation circle.
We made sure to bring everyone into that circle.
Everyone and everything except we probably can't get our cart into the tower.
Probably not.
Shit.
Can I put the card into my robes?
Well, both Harsnag and that special doggy horse or whatever it's called can fit that.
I mean, they could send you in 2 groups. They could probably conceivably send the card as well.
I'd hate to be a page at that tower today.
That was a child.
I told you they like to stand outside my house and yell. Grumble, grumble.
But can Horsneck carry the cart?
He could, but like I said, you would probably have to travel in 2 groups in order to make sure that everything's there.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to accidentally send half of our snag.
Yeah, that would be bad. Believe it or not, that would be bad. And when you tell him that we have this cart and a couple of goats and a reindeer, he just scratches his head and says, well, that is, her, could be, yes, well, then it would be best that I send a couple of you first, so you can prepare Zaspar for the incoming load.
Okay. Is that the person who works at the other end?
Yes. Yes, that is one of the majors. Yeah, so
Send me and Dirt first.
Send Dane first. And you and Derp.
okay, he
And
will
Lam.
do that. Yeah, it's probably a good idea that you send at least one Harper first. So he'll probably actually send all of you except Harshnag and the wagon and the goats, because he's going to carry all of that.
Aww.
Even the goats? He's gonna carry the goats?
No, but they can make everything fit into the circle. And you appear in what appears to be a stable house structure thing. And the magic circle's attendant is a shield dwarf. And he looks like a stable hand. He has leather overalls and bits of straw sticking out of his beard. He welcomes you. Which roughly translates to, "This is Mirabar, now get out of here before I get in trouble."
I feel like Dane would try to do some dwarven talking.
Oh, yes. Um, to which he will reply, yeah, that's nice. I'll go away before you blow my cover.
Oh, by the way, there's gonna be a giant coming through with a wagon and a couple goats.
Yep.
You get the feeling that at first he thinks you're joking, and then he slowly realizes that you're not, and he just sighs. Well, we best clear the area then. And no sooner than that, Wagon and Harshnag appear in the middle of the stable. And the goats as well, and the reindeer.
Was that disorienting for anyone else?
A bit.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I feel kinda dizzy.
And as you vacate the area, you can see that the dwarf Zaspar is quickly covering up the teleportation circle under a bale of hay and says, "Well, pleasure doing business with you. Now, off with you."
Okay.
Well, I guess we should be finding a place to stay.
It's not that late. You
Yeah, teleportation doesn't take that long.
you went to the tower pretty much right after breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. We actually slept first. I had
And
forgotten.
we moved west, so technically it's earlier.
Oh God.
Second breakfast.
Okay. Harshnag,
Yes.
what was it that you wanted to do here in the northern areas? Are we in the north?
Yes, you are in the north, and it is noticeably cooler because
What?
you are in Mirabar and not in Everland anymore.
Oh, just wait a second. I have to put on my shoes. And I put on my shoes.
And yeah, he will reiterate that his plan is to find the Eye of the All-Father, which houses a powerful oracle, so he can find out what happened, actually, why the ordering was disrupted, and yeah,
Ah, yes. Now
no
I
end,
remember.
just that. And of course, the oracle would also know where all of the giants are and what they want, which might be a good idea to know.
Maybe. I mean, we already kinda know what they want. They wanna be the leader.
Yeah, well, maybe the Oracle might help us find a new leader that's not a complete douche.
That
Well,
seems likely. That's not Mika. Mika is very hopeful. But should we maybe stay in Mirabar for a minute, or should we just go forth?
He suggests that if you need to make preparations for trek through the mountains, it would probably be best to do them now, because it is still a bit of a way.
We could be ready in an hour.
Well, fortunately, I still have my wing mitts.
Yeah.
Really, the biggest thing is we just need to put the skis on the car when we get in the snow.
Can't forget about that.
And the bells.
Why do we need bells?
I don't know, it just seemed appropriate.
You do have one reindeer.
Oh, and when we go to hitch the goats up, I'm just gonna whisper in goat, I ate goat last night and it was delicious.
Oh damn.
And then walk away.
You're evil.
Yeah. And as you walk away, you will probably hear the goats muttering to themselves. Deal with this psychopath. And another one say, not so loud, I think he can understand us.
I shout back, I heard that.
Oh no.
And then they fall silent. And the reindeer laughs a bit.
But they don't understand that.
No.
Oh, glorious.
So Harshnag will tell you the general direction you have to head into to get to the Eye of the All-Father. Of course, he will travel with you. It is pretty remote, and like I said, it is in the middle of the spine of the world, and it is probably about a week's travel still, depending on how well you can traverse the mountains. Maybe a bit shorter if the weather is good and do you find a good path. But his worst case scenario is that it will take at least 5 days.
Well, that's not too bad.
Especially if you take the wagon.
If we remember to put a fire going during the night so we don't freeze to death.
Bear's writing this down on his hand. Don't freeze to death. Underline, underline.
Excellent.
You will now proceed to freeze to death.
I don't know if that was sad or cute or probably both.
Both?
But then he
Most
puts his
definitely
glove
both.
back on.
Oh dear.
Okay. So you spent the day making preparations. Maybe restocking your supplies.
Supplies?
A large wagon wheel of cheese and a bunch of macaroni.
Also, you still have a 10-pound bag of salt, I think.
That might be needed.
Yeah, Well, I do think we have spent some of it. Didn't we have like some food that was very, very salty?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, that wasn't us. That was the stupid fairies.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was perfect.
Pixies. It was definitely the pixies.
Yeah, that was good.
Restocking.
Yeah, so after about a day of preparations, you spend the night and then you start making your way towards the Eye of the Altar. The first couple of days are fairly uneventful and take you to the base of the mountains, which at which point you will have a pretty daunting task ahead of you trying to scale all of them. And progress is slow but steady. You manage to avoid the crack cats and the barbarians that live there.
That's very lucky.
Well, on one hand, it's lucky. On the other hand, Parshanak has warned you about them.
Mm.
They don't like outsiders, as some of you will know. And it's best to avoid them if at all possible.
Yes.
Yes. Also, probably you will probably have a couple of close calls with ravines and stuff, but thing that you handle.
I
And
don't want to fall to my death. Oh, actually, never mind. I have feather fall,
yes,
but I don't want to climb this mountain again. So please don't let go.
and between all of your magical abilities and training, the thing that will probably impede you the most is the blistering cold.
But we're prepared for that.
Yes, but you spend a day preparing, so you are good. And after another 2 days of climbing and scaling, you come to a valley in the mountains, which Harshnek calls the Valley of Kedrun. And he says, "We are close now. We have the most difficult part is behind us. We just have to travel to the other side of this valley, and the entrance should be there."
Did you know that usually in the books or stories, when someone says that the difficult part is behind, something terrible happens?
I don't think something horrible will happen.
They
That's
never
just bards trying to spice up the story.
do. That might be true.
So you travel in the valley for another 2 days. When finally you arrive at what looks to be a an entrance into a cave that is held up by a couple of rocky spires. And Harshnag says, we have arrived. The Eye of the Allfather.
This seems like a very pleasant place.
It's not. You see before you a 40-foot wide domed entrance that is made of natural stone. It is pretty much on a cliff, so there is not very much space to traverse there. And there is just a small walkway on the side of the cliff into the entrance, and on the other side of the walkway there is just a plunge down.
Yeah, but like small for a giant or small for
It's small for a
bird?
giant. It's not really dangerous for you because you are not giants, but it's still a bit disconcerting.
Okay, I just didn't want to have somebody with a snowball and cause them to plunge to their death.
No, it's not going to happen, but there is plenty of snow around. The walkway is covered with about a foot of snow. And you do notice that there are tracks in the snow heading towards the mountainside, the entrance.
What size tracks?
Give me a survival check. They are not giant size. You can determine that without.
I will go sit in a corner. In shame.
They are definitely not giant tracks. The best you know, you would say that it is human tracks. Probably more than one. You can't really decide how many.
Patties.
Burr concurs. Probably humans, probably more than one.
Well, if it's humans, how many?
More than one.
Make your check.
$74.
They say more than one, but it's definitely one, and maybe another one.
Well, it's so few. We shouldn't be worried.
What is...
No, you all recognize that it's multiple, but you can't really say how many.
Well, I guess we will enter then.
But let's just be like... ready. Just in case they're not friendly.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah, so you move towards the entrance, and now you can see that the pillars that are holding up the entrance are actually carved, and each pillar is carved with depicts another scene. You can see on one there is a hill giant lifting a rock above his head. On one there is a frost giant who is chopping down a great pine. On one is a cloud giant flying amongst birds in the sky. One is a flying storm giant throwing a lightning bolt at a ship. One is a stone giant climbing up a mountain. And the last one is a fire giant with a chained dwarf as prisoner in a cavern.
That's not nice.
I guess this represents all of the giant kind.
But where are the giant gnomes?
There are no giant gnomes.
Gasp.
The point of gnomes is that they aren't giant.
I do have a question for Nurse, though.
Yes.
What does this mean and what do you make of it?
That's just pretty regular giant art. Also, it is a temple to the All-Father, the father of all giants. It makes sense that all of the giant kind are depicted.
Okay. Well, good. That it's not like something super weird.
Oh, okay. So, yes, the entry hall is pretty much domed. That is where the pillars hold up the ceiling. And it leads into a hallway that is 40 feet wide and 40 feet high. Give me a round of perceptions, please.
I refuse. No, I didn't. Ooh, good thing I didn't refuse.
Dude, why am I more perceptive than our monk?
No, you're not.
No, but like
Oh, yeah.
bonus-wise, you have a low wisdom.
Yeah, that's all I have.
She's not trained.
Yeah. I'm not proficient.
So you look around a bit and you notice that in the ceiling, pretty much right after the entrance, there are some strange gaps, like there are loose stones in the ceiling. As if they could, as if there are blocks in the ceiling that could be lowered and raised.
This is fascinating, but I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, I will try and fly up and check.
Yeah, there is. There are hanging stones in the ceiling. And if you wouldn't know any better, you would say those are designed to fall on unsuspecting victims.
Oh no.
I will fly down and see if I can find like anything to trigger it.
Yeah, you find a couple of pressure plates in the floor that are protruding a bit.
Well, I will mark those. Don't step here.
Okay.
And then I will keep my eyes and ears open to see if there are other traps.
You don't see any other traps, but you do hear noises, grunts.
There's something here.
I assume I can also maybe hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. It's probably the footsteps from before. I mean, whatever made the footprints. But, I might be wrong. So, let's be sneaky. Maybe?
Yeah, I will cast invisibility and sneak closer.
Okay. So you sneak past the entryway
Wait here.
and you come into a hall. Um, that is still basically 40 feet wide, but there are ledges in the sides of the walls that are of that are 20 feet high, and the ceiling expands to another is higher than the one in the entryway, so it is 60 feet high. Also, you do hear and possibly see now even that there are various humanoid figures in front of what appears a set of very large closed doors. You count about 8.
What do they appear to be doing?
Well, one of them has a torch, and you can hear them grunting and groaning.
At least some of them do not see in the dark.
No, none of them see in the dark. They are humans. Basically, they are trying to. They are pushing at the doors, trying to open them. Six of them are trying to open the door. One of them is apparently the leader of them, who tells them to push harder. One of them looks like an older woman that is dressed like a shaman of some sort. And also, what you see is that on the shoulder of the leader, there is what looks to be a tiny white dragon.
Oh, how cute.
Oh, by the way, how has Fellow been doing in this cold climate?
Well, he doesn't like it, but he perseveres.
Okay, he can live inside my jacket.
Well, I guess I will head back to the rest. Well, there seems to be 8 humanoids, I guess humans, all of them, right?
Yeah.
And they seem to be breaking down the door. 2 of them stand out. One is the leader, who also has a dragon familiar of sorts. And the other is an elderly woman who looked like a castery type.
Oh, that's... we should probably stop them.
Yeah,
Should
I
we
mean, from the
first
looks
try-
of it, they probably won't have much success.
Should we
Uh,
maybe first try to talk to them and tell them to go away?
yeah, this is not their place.
And Harshanak says, if they are barbarians, they probably cannot be reasoned with.
Well, we
But-
can always try.
I
If you
take
want.
great offense to this entire line of thinking. However, I believe we should kill them all.
No,
Well, if we can't reason with them, we'll probably end up having to kill them anyway. So let's try reasoning with them first.
who is good at reasoning?
I'll go.
Oh dear God.
I think Glum.
Yeah, I'm decent.
Go with your brother.
I have a brother.
Burr.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
saying like a metaphorical brother,
sure.
not a biological one.
I'll then start heading towards you.
Wait, you mean I'm adopted?
Yeah, you adopted yourself. But yeah, I'll start heading them and be like, hi.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah, I will follow after. I'm still invisible.
Hmm.
I'm also close by.
I am in the backpack.
How do they?
You approach them, and the leader turns around and says, "Who goes there? Who dares come near warm blood?"
I take off my hood and I reveal the, tigery being that is Lum with whole glowing eyes. The whole deal. Blue tiger. Name's Lum. We're planning on passing through this, and I don't think you should be here. And what are you even doing here, anyway?
He looks at you, he squints a bit, and he says, "You are not a member of our tribe. We will not discuss our business with you."
Fair.
That's kinda exclusive.
And
I jump out of the backpack.
as he says that you are not a member of the tribe, the other 6 that are pushing the door turn around and grab their whatever it is they're armed with. I think axes.
Okay.
I guess it's initiative time.
It is initiative time, or it would be, but I think we will postpone the combat until next week.
Yeah, full combat would be at least an hour. At least. And then we'd want to loot. And then probably talk to the Allfather.
Yeah, although of course it depends just how strong they are.
It might be quick, it might not, but
They might
Yeah, we
roll
will-
like the raids. They might not.
we will do the combat with the members of the Great Worm Tribe next week.
Ooh, great version.
For some reason, I fear they might be as strong as those insanely OP pets that Dane can summon, which is a thingy.
They are berserkers, yes.
Oh god, so each of them has like 150 hit points or so. Or at least they did have a lot of hit points, if I remember correctly.
They are pretty durable, but they are tribesmen of the north. They have to be hardy.
Hit points won't help them if I stun them all.
A feast so small the dark one said can make you laugh a feast. Come within these walls of mine before the trusty pine. Grab yourself a bottle of wine and drink it with delight. Come within these walls of mine.
Yeah, it's in this